Every day, Smile walks 10 kilometers to get water, to seek a better future, to get home before dark. Then she received a bicycle. On 2 wheels, she can fly. Day by day, her future gets brighter. If one bicycle can change Smile's future, imagine mobilizing her entire community. With a bicycle, Siduduzo visits more patients. Edward keeps the water running. Leocadia empowers her neighbors. Wozani guides his village. Levison helps people live with the land. With a bicycle, they can all pedal forward. With a bicycle, they can change their world. Mobilize communities like Smiles with the power of bicycles.
Well, we're out on Sukis Playground. WBR Day, WTRL TTT number 138. Nathan Guerra here and Dave Towle next to me. And today, a pretty big milestone for WTRL and WBR and the whole of the Zwift community and Zwift Community Live, with some pretty amazing numbers being hit. We were talking in pre-production a little bit here, and Dave, you said something about being super proud of this community and what they've accomplished so far today. And we are just getting started on the day today.
Yeah. And, I'm just overwhelmed. It's actually emotional. For so many things to talk about. But yeah, I heard we're very, very close to $90,000 raised. Some teams like Backpedal, Nathan, when I was looking, already over $3,400 just from that one team. And then it's the depth. You have to look through many pages to just keep looking at the teams. And I love the way you come together. We're going to be joined today, Nathan, by someone that is near and dear to our hearts, and that is World Bicycle Release Claire Geiger. She's an amazing person and is really a great example of their community that they've built at World Bicycle Relief. And speaking of community, I'd like to take a moment, Nathan, to thank Martin at WTRL for the incredible job. And really, he's been a driving force. And I know so much pride goes into WTRL and this effort. So, what I'm just going to ask, I'm just putting it out there, Nathan. Let's get over $100,000 during this broadcast, right? I know that we can do it. You folks have been amazing. If you all will just share, you're going to meet Claire. She's going to really inspire you and give you a lot of understanding and depth as we really break it down today. We're going to hopefully have a chance to talk to Sam Boardman, too, one of my all-time favorite racers, not for what he does just on the bike, which is awesome. He's part of the Legion of LA team, but what he does off the bike. This is one cool human being, just like you, Nathan. So I know you were out there, wish you were racing. Have you ever raced on Sukis Playground before? I guess we've got the racing to talk about as well. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, I haven't. I actually haven't raced Suki's Playground, but it is a little bit of a mix-up of the two courses that we have seen in the ZRL recently with the flatland and the countryside. So we'll take a quick little look at what the racers will be taking on today. Today's Suki's Playground, as you can see, it's a figure eight, essentially, of the new McCurry Island. As you do see, the racers do take on off through the flatlands and then do a little bit of a climb up toward the temple and then take that left-hand turn to finish up the other side of the island. It's going to be 2 laps of the course out here today. The laps, I believe, at about 32. We're looking at about 16K or so for the lap out there. And as you can see, as far as elevation goes, here's the elevation. 200 meters of climbing up toward the top of that temple. A little bit of a kick toward the end as well of today's climb. So as far as TT courses go, Dave, it's definitely going to be a challenge. Not the most challenging courses. We're not talking level of challenge like Tour of Tuit or any of that, or a Richmond course or anything like that. But it's definitely going to be a challenge to stick together in the middle of that race each time they do take on those temple climbs.
I would agree. It's more on that end of the ledger than on the Tempest Fugit type. It's not completely flat. You can see that major climb out there. Teams are going to be really challenged, and I know we're going to see huge numbers out there with it being World Bicycle Relief Day on WTRL. Saw some fast times as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, but we shouldn't have had any previous course records out here other than what's already happened today. And this is a great moment to quickly explain how WTRL works with the 19 different zones around the globe. We've already seen, I saw times when I woke up this morning, Nathan, coming in from obviously racers that have been out on course hours earlier. So those times will be up on the board. So there will be existing course records, but unless I'm wrong, Nathan, they were all set today.
They were all set. They should have all been set today. Yes, Suki's Playground, not one that we have been out on so far. We are seeing the numbers coming in, and we'll keep everybody up to date as well as the numbers for the fundraising do come in as we are about to hit, it looks like $90,000 pretty quickly here. Let's take a quick look at the times that have been set, though, as Dave was talking for the day and what people are up against for the teams. And you can see a lot of the zones that have already gone out today are going to be on this list. 2 laps, 36.8, and it is, like usual, the NZ Bro team taking it down in the zone that's from the land down under. So obviously New Zealand going to get a first shot at that. But it looks like the fast time for the day is going to be out of Doppio. Saris No Pins, great to see them showing up. We haven't actually seen Saris No Pins in the TTT for a while, and I absolutely love it that they've shown up for the WBR day today. 47 minutes is going to be the time that has set the bar in the women's top end for the espresso, obviously with the cheese rollers there, 57.03. And I just happen to have a little cheese rollers graphic, actually. So that happens to just be in there for us. That was not set up by me prior either. That just happens to be in production because they're so awesome and I keep that around. So good on the cheese rollers and Vienna there. Like, we also do have special guests in with the lattes. The Legion of Los Angeles team has put a crew together that's going to be the last starters in the lattes. Let's go ahead and actually jump right on in, actually, with the front runners, the first team to go out in the lattes, and then we'll have a little bit of an interview with Claire Geiger, actually, in just a moment here to talk all about all things WBR. But definitely want to highlight the racers. That's what this is about as well. They're the ones out here hammering away, as well as raising all of these funds for us today as we do jump in with Team NL. We'll also get a look here at the rest of the teams and who is showing up in this latte crew. Team NL were the first ones to go out. Truck Dodu is the next ones that did go out. Vikings Milner are going to be in with the lattes here. Adam Racing Team Isotopes. It's going to be TSZ Mazeron. Kirchmer Latte 1 and 3. Zedson, Venus. RR Woolly Rhinos. The Vikings Valhalla as well, it looks like. So this is the current situation out on course 1308 as they come through that first 8K marker.
Yeah, we'll have a chance to check in and look at these splits out here. I did see what a lineup we've got from Legion Racing. Corey Williams, one of the team owners on the squad, a California state champion, is Olympian from Mexico, Eder Frier. And Nathan, it seems like we've had Eder as part of the old school esports racer with us going back quite a while. So it's nice to welcome him back. Legend Freddie Ovett is racing with us, the Australian who absolutely dominated a couple of seasons ago in the ZRL. And then the American Sam Boardman, who one of the great stories in American racing right now, what Sam is all about. So they are going to be the final team to start. And we do have a challenge with that Legion of LA team to see who can beat them. Every team has really done a tremendous job with fundraising, and first splits coming in at 1308. That's going to be Team NL there, as we're again looking at a challenging 36.8 kilometers of racing out here.
Let's go ahead and jump right on in and bring in our guest from World Bicycle Relief, Claire Geiger. Claire, great to have you here with us, and huge day, obviously, it looks like. And I think we're just breaking expectations left and right on the day with what's been done so far by the Zwift community.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Nathan. It's great to be back again this year. And like you said, I mean, I think Dave used the word overwhelming earlier, and you mentioned, exceeding all expectations. It's amazing to see what this community has done, has already come together. I just saw the numbers tick over $90,000, and we are just absolutely blown away. I just want to say a huge thanks to Martin from WTRL, both of you at Zwift Community Live for broadcasting this, and of course to Saris and Corey of Switzerland for sponsoring, and the boys from Legion of LA for showing up. I mean, what a great example of community that we have here today.
Yeah, Corey, who a cycling clothing manufacturer. I was looking it up because I was like, what does that word mean? And heart. It's Italian for heart, and that really fits. We sure appreciate them, and Sarah stepping up again to help support is amazing, Claire. So Claire, when you look at it, we've been talking about the impact, right? And the word hope really comes to the forefront for me. Talk about the hope these bikes bring the communities that they end up in. You've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, it's a great question, Dave. And I think, hope is such a perfect example. The bike is, of course, a tangible object. It is a tool that these individuals use to get to school for students or for healthcare workers, to, get to more patients and provide that care for farmers to get more goods to market and serve their community. But really, it's a symbol of hope for a brighter future. That's really what they're able to achieve, and they're able to do it for themselves. So it's such an empowering tool as well. And hope is just such a beautiful word.
When you think about it, there's so many different ways to approach this, right? With healthcare and ripple effect. But the one, okay, I know it's impossible to be like, who's your favorite child, or the Judgment of Paris. But the one that has really stuck out to me the most is empowering young women with this bike, and ripple effect too, in that the family's sort of all in on this together because keeping that bike benefits everyone. And talk about common good and how these bikes, I guess maybe the word ripple effect, if you would expound on that for us, how these bikes don't just, it's not one bike, one person, is it?
Exactly. I mean, I think that's just it. The bike, of course, maybe is handed over to a student, but that student also takes her siblings to school with her. Her parents may use that bike while she's at school or on the weekends to take those goods to market or to visit a family member. We really, as we've looked at the data we've collected, that one bike actually impacts up to 5 additional people. So really that ripple effect is exactly what it is. And like you, I mean, it's really the students and especially girl students that inspire me so much. One student wrote a poem and in it says, when you educate a girl, you've educated a nation. And I think it's true. What we see is when these girls stay in school, they perform better, they start their families later, they're more likely to invest back into their community. So again, that's just another example of that ripple effect and the positive impact that comes from giving a girl a bicycle.
I don't know. I don't know if you've met Smile her in person, right? But
I
just
haven't met her
if
in
you'd stick
person,
with,
no.
no, yeah. So think about this though. Just take that human being who multiply that by 10, and then multiply that by 10 again, because we had a couple of teams here, Claire, that have raised over $3,500. Or one team in particular, I want to give them a shout out, Backpedal. Um, so if you think about that, with each bike at an average of 100, let's just say 170 US dollars, which is about less than 150 euros. So you start extrapolating that, that becomes hundreds of lives. And then with this ripple effect, thousands of lives that just backpedal, one team of awesome people, right? And I mean, that team is going to be 8, 10 folks and their friends and families that all donated. But that is a huge impact just from a small group here. Pretty incredible.
It's amazing. I mean, Backpedal, and right behind them, you've got Dirty Rascals and Lightning Velo and Coalition Nimbus and I Race Like a Girl. I mean, and like you said, you have to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling for all of the teams that have gotten involved. And that's what I think is so amazing about this, is to see all of the teams that raised a bike or 2 bikes or 10 bikes or 20 bikes and more. And all of those, behind each one of those bikes is that individual life changed plus all of their families and those around it.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's just, I think you're exactly right. I mean, look at all of these teams that have stepped up. And I've gotten such amazing notes from people, just mentioning how much they love that one of these races every year really has so much purpose behind it. And I think it's evident with what you're showing here. Look at how many people have gotten involved. So just a huge thank you to the community, to all of these riders out here today that have invested so much in this. Thank you.
This is Claire Geiger joining us. Claire is the Director of Awesomeness. I forgot what your job title is at
Partnerships.
World Bikes. Director of Partnerships in Germany. Spirit of Giving is strong right now, and I know. So I don't want to just watch it like a stock market ticker, right? But I know a lot of folks are wondering how to get involved or to share this story in worldbicyclerelief.org. Your marketing materials are have okay. Personal question: do they bring people to tears sometimes when they first see them with you? Yeah, the impact is
Yeah, I
huge
mean,
for
they still
folks that
bring me
maybe.
to tears. Like, I've been with the
Yeah.
organization for 9 years, and I still see these videos and read these stories. And to me, it's what keeps me going every single day. It's just amazing. Yeah, the as you mentioned, Smile story, and we have so many others besides that as well.
Yeah, and I think that really is the point. Is that we're now getting close to 1 million bikes. When I say close, we've still obviously this effort really never ends. Right? I mean, this will continue certainly. That spirit of trying to help people in right now, really sub-Saharan Africa comes to mind, and that seems to be where. Well, and you mentioned Colombia as well, Claire. So
Yep.
it's a worldwide effort, but the focus in Africa has been so strong, and we're really getting momentum right now, aren't we? As we get close to 1 million bikes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we did the first 500,000 in 15 years, and we're slated to do the next 500,000 in 5 years. So just thinking about that exponential growth, and the need is so great. Over 1 billion people lack basic access to transportation, and so a bike is the perfect tool for so many people. So as you mentioned, the need is great, and as we look to the future, we know that big milestones are ahead, and that we still have a lot of work to do. So, again, thank you to everybody who's gotten involved. These bikes will truly change lives.
It's funny. We talked about healthcare. No, none of it's funny, but we talked about healthcare. We've talked about empowering young women. I mean, if you think about things like clean water, no matter where you're coming from in a humanitarian effort, these bicycles have a huge impact. You can get one yourself. You can donate one in the name of a friend or family member that is hard to find something. Well, what a great way to make them feel awesome and collectively just give everyone a karma boost. That's for sure. So, Claire, thanks again. And I do want to thank our friends at SRAM and Zip. We've got the disc wheel trophy that lives on in a perpetual trophy. I almost got too beyond ahead of my skis with that word, but a perpetual trophy that winning top fundraising team, they will see their name being added to last year's winners. We also have a lot of goodies from SRAM and Zip that we'll be passing on to our top 3 teams. So make sure you thank everyone back at SRAM and Zip for their ongoing support. As you said, more than 15 years, and we're just really now getting some serious momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, thanks to all of the partners. Saris is throwing in some hats for people. There's going to be a discount code on the Core A kit for people who want, all of this. The sponsors have put so much behind this and said, how much they believe in the WTRL time trial team and the community around this. So we're excited to do that. And hopefully everybody will see that today you're on a very special bike out on course, and that's the Buffalo bike. So that's been in Zwift for quite a few years now. And hopefully you all can see some of the things that make it unique, like the back rack and everything like that.
Yeah, that's something we certainly, this is a great story. First off, are we doing okay on still getting actual physical bikes right now? I know that the fundraising, obviously, it's not like immediately a bike just magically appears. They have to be manufactured. Is that process going okay with supply chain issues?
Yeah, it's a great question. Obviously, supply chain issues are incredibly difficult right now. Our bike is actually manufactured at the Giant facility in Taiwan, and they've dedicated a specific line for the Buffalo bicycle to ensure that we can continue to meet our needs for our distribution. So they've really gone all in. We work very closely with our suppliers in country to make sure that we're still able to distribute that. Of course, there are challenges, but our team works far in advance to make sure that we can hit those needs. So we are actually on track to have a record-breaking year of distributions. Despite all of the challenges around COVID, our team has been able to get into the field, distribute bikes, and we're looking at distributing about 70,000 bikes this year alone.
It's really fascinating when you look at, and it's a story that's well worth, as a matter of fact, a long form documentary on that process of the bike being manufactured and then how you put it into the community and having these centers with trained mechanics that are part of a system, accountability for the bikes. They're not, you can do more damage than good by just dumping a bunch of bikes into a random community. Actually, when you think about it, it makes sense. That's very dangerous. But being organized in the way the bikes are distributed, can you talk about how important that is as part of this? It's not just about pushing bikes into Africa, is it?
Yeah, that is such a great point, Dave. And our founder FK always says, Africa doesn't deserve our trash. Like, we can't just ship our old stuff over there and expect that it's going to do good. We've really put a ton into the engineering behind this bike to make sure that it's going to stay there, hold up against the tough elements, and that it's suited for the individuals that receive it. So that's a big part of it. And then I think, to your point about the bike being sustainable, it's very strong. It's made out of steel. It's very robust. And additionally, by putting all the same bike in that are created for that area of the world, it also allows us to scale. We're able to put the infrastructure in place by training mechanics, by having, resources of spare parts and spare tools available to keep those bikes up and running. And that's one of the things that really sets us apart from a lot of other organizations that may just ship containers of bikes over and hope that they do good. But oftentimes we see those are lying on the side of the road because something happens and they can't fix them. And so the Buffalo bicycle, we see these lasting 5 and 10 and 15 years. We still have stories from some of the first bikes we distributed that are still running, of course, with spares and things that have been, replaced. But the foundation is strong, and that's such an important part of our work.
Yeah, you're creating jobs, right? You can see
Yep.
these young women that we're talking about, they can run their own Buffalo bike repair shop, distribution center. And if you think about it, you don't need 38 different kinds of tires and 16 kinds of brake pads and 14 chains, because there's really only one kind that you need to stock, and that's for Buffalo bikes, because these aren't like Ferraris and Lamborghinis where you're trying to show off. These bikes have purpose. They're soul driven, right? And so isn't that the name of the game here? Is ultimately what's the end game? We're trying to get these bikes out there being used by people. This is exactly how you do it. I have to say that giving credit to FK and that team, the original concept was so strong, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was
It hasn't
all
changed
about,
much.
help. Yeah, it hasn't. No, I mean, it's really been a strong design. We've worked with engineers from SRAM, with engineers from Trek to really make sure that we get this right. We've made small, changes along the way. One of our guiding mottos is all answers are found in the field. So we don't assume that the engineers that are sitting in Chicago know better about what's needed in Africa. We talk to the people who have gotten bikes. We have people out there gathering feedback, making sure that they are telling us what's working and what's not working. So those are the improvements we can make. And then to your point about these Buffalo shops, or we have women who are mechanics, we have, this infrastructure there. They're really the ones that can help keep those bikes up and going. And we even see people who don't have a Buffalo bike going in and purchasing our spare parts and tools to kind of upgrade their bikes. We see people that have walked over 80 kilometers both ways with cash in hands, with a pile of $1 bills, to go and purchase a Buffalo bicycle because they are the strongest bike on the market and they have this reputation of lasting longer than any other bike. So it's pretty amazing to see people's faith in it, and they really speak for themselves out there.
Yeah. Yeah. The only bad news I have for you is that you're never going to have a cooler job than what you do right now, Claire. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. And as you said, we're thanking WTRL for hosting this and the tremendous support from Saris, with the over $10,000 that they've donated. Quore, fantastic cycling clothing manufacturers. They make the entire kit. We really do appreciate your support. And to everybody, I think on behalf of our friend Claire Geiger and everyone at World Bicycle Relief, a heartfelt thank you. That impact really is what drives all of us forward. So thanks, Claire.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, for making time. Thank you for always sharing about our work and your longtime support and bringing this community together. I so appreciate you having us on tonight and supporting World Bicycle Relief. And a deep, deep thanks to all of the sponsors and to every single team and donor that has participated to create so much impact for our work.
Right. They found the right woman for the job, Nathan. Claire is just an awesome person. And you get the feeling that at World Bicycle Relief, they probably can be pretty selective on who they bring on board to represent them. I'd be selective. I'd bring this man on my team, Eder Freire, as we take a look at the Mexican Olympian. He went to Tokyo. That's going to be Corey Williams that we're looking at. Freddie Ovitt. So this is the team, Legion of LA. They started last out here. Nathan, thanks a lot for indulging us there. And just like with our thanks for Martin, thank you so much for hosting this broadcast and going above and beyond for World Bicycle Relief. There's Freddie.
Yeah, and these boys on the Buffalo bikes smashing it.
They
It looks
hauling?
like they have
Yeah.
showed up with the disc wheels as well. So a few of them. So good to see that they did show up with a good TT setup, which is always kind of fun to see on the Buffalo bikes. Pretty cool. Freddie, earlier on, we did see Freddie off the front for a little while, hammering away from his team. So it does look like he's gotten back into the pack here at this point. We'll try and grab what their times are. The boards do automatically update in some ways in order that so they did start in the lattes, but when the times are crazy fast,
They
you do
bump
end
up.
up getting updated, to go over to the correct category. So we'll jump on over to Doppio and see how things have played out for them so far. As I have a feeling that they got upgraded over to Doppio perhaps at a certain point here, but these are the times that are coming in: 24:05, 24:24 there. Backpedal with a 24:30 right now in Doppio. Cycling Power Race Team with a 24:41. I definitely want to highlight the Backpedal team today. We'll jump over and take a look at them because Backpedal so far, Dave, have raised an insane amount of money. $4,449.92 from Backpedal One. Crazy. That's the team on Doppio too that we're looking at on that 24:30 right now.
Wow, I was just saying that's $1,000 more than when I checked an hour ago. That's absolutely incredible. The Legion team here now, Nathan, really appreciate them jumping in and challenging everybody. We're taking a look at these splits coming in now. So you're really watching a team getting anti-sandbagging rule affected in real time as they come through, as they're going to get bumped up. That's Sam Boardman. Sam had a fantastic ride a couple of years ago at the Amgen Tour of California, and then really it was interesting to watch as he moved to Montana. He and his partner Jess have an event called The Last Great Ride, and it's truly cool what he is doing with the status and stature that he has in the world of cycling. So taking a look now at the 16K, so jumping back in with the actual in real-time racing, it is nearly 37 kilometers out there today. Two big loops that they're contesting. Freddie's taking monster pulls here, maintaining over 6 watts per kilo for quite a while as he's going to rotate off and let the guys come through. But they are rolling like a nuclear-powered freight train right now as we take a look at the Legion of LA team picking up, going through some more traffic here.
Yeah, I think they're about to take over, or they're about to start their second lap as they do get out here. Going to jump on over to Zhao Power, who's going to help us get in with that backpedal team, I believe, if I'm not incorrect here, as they're making their way through course. And this is the top fundraising team here at this point, Backpedal One. Awesome to see. It is going to be Nick Brownbill, who is on this team, as well as Kelvin Newman, David Rainham, Paul Elliott, Paul Hamlet, Ruben De Kirk, Simon Mayet, and Zhao Power, all on this team here. So it does look like they may have dropped a few of the riders off. If they did start with, let's go ahead and see what they started with, or if they had some non-starters perhaps as well. They did start with 8, so they have dropped 3 riders so far. Going into their second lap. They're 23.6K in. It's a total today over 30K. We're looking at a pretty long race out here today, Dave.
Yeah, but I noted this is it is long. I mean, a fast time comes in right around 50 minutes, which is, that's certainly on the top end of the table out there. Is Ruben de Klerk here is one of the riders that has raised over $4,400. We were just hearing from Nathan, which is our top team. So they're certainly in the running for that Zip disc wheel. That is our perpetual trophy. There is one of the top ZRL riders, Kiel Power, monster here as he's working with the team. Nathan, they got let's call it 12.5K to go out here.
Yeah, 12.5Ks. It does look like Calvin makes his way to the back here. We'll see if he can jump right back on. This is a very experienced TTT team for sure. As you do see them taking that order very, very well, as they want to see it stretch out into a single file line as best they possibly can. Calvin, for a moment here, he's got to find that wheel though, and I think he will. as Paul on the front here pushes a solid 4-1. Now, it's a tough time to go. Speaking to TTT tactics, it is a tough time to go to the back right before you hit a climb like this, Dave. You know, you take your pull, you're well over threshold at that point, and then you go to the back thinking you're about to get a rest, and it's like, no, it's time for another interval, actually, because everybody's got to match
Oh,
gel at the front at 6 watts per kilogram.
it's not that different, Nathan, than finishing up. So you're in a small breakaway, finishing up a hard pull, and then having a rider attack when you are the most exposed, because that is it. You are exposed out there after taking a huge pull. So you are reliant on your team not ramping it up too much out there. And that precision is really, that separates the good from the great out here in this team time trialing discipline. We're going to be looking at, again, the distance today is 37-ish K. It's also very important to note, you start with 8 riders, but 4 is the magic number. Your 4th rider is where your time is taken from. And here's this game, Nathan, of do you wait or don't you wait? They're actually no problem here. They're going to be 5 riders together. 24:05, the fastest time that we've got right now. So 17 seconds quicker for Virtue Slow. This is the Slovenian team out of big strong guys. Toyota Cryo RDT, a monster squad, sitting in second quickest at that mid-race check. Just 2 seconds behind them is the Schmerzfrei Espresso squad. Backpedal. We mentioned how appreciative they are of the huge efforts on and off the bike, and they're still close, only 25 seconds behind the fast time. A lot can change in the back 9 out here. And then Cycling Power Race Team is our squad out of Denmark here. Still, I mean, it's only 36 seconds separating the top 5 out here in the Doppio class.
Want to give a good shout out to the Vertislow guys. It looks like 2 Buffalo bikes coming in from them at least. It's $721.38. Thank you to them. As they were they had a 4-minute change up for them. So they were the last, I think, to go out on course, if I'm not correct, because they have 12.8 left to go. Actually, sorry, Toyota Cryo DT were the last to go out on course, but they do have the fastest time so far. We'll see if they can hang on to that 18K in. Solid effort here by Vertislow, the fully Slovenian team, as they make their way up the KOM, chasing that Cycling Power Race Team from Denmark just ahead of him.
Yeah, we've been enjoying spending some time in CAM with them at the actual Cycling Power facility there. I say in Copenhagen, and that's only because I can't really name too many other teams in towns in Denmark. I'll have to work on that. But so this again is when you remember most teams starting with 8 out here, putting it into perspective, Legion just starting with 4. So they don't have any wiggle room out there. Let's see if they can get the fastest time. That's tough to predict, isn't it, Nathan? Because those are 4 World Tour level riders that you're looking at on that the Legion of LA team. But starting with 4, you're behind the 8 ball there.
100%. It does make things super difficult, especially on a longer course like this, Dave. I think the reality of starting with 4 riders like that can really put the hurt in the legs, because you get so less time when it comes to, the amount of time that you get to rest is just so little comparatively.
The big climb feature through the middle part of the course certainly favors them in that story. I mean, obviously, I guess it really comes down to, quality versus quantity, right? And I will always take what's a good way to put it? A really tasty small burrito versus a really not very good tasting big one. The quality will reign supreme. And I think today, and also there's a craft to this, not just Zwift craft, but racing in the team time trial it takes a while to really get your team just nailing it out there. Nathan, as you know, racing with different teams, some teams pick this up quickly, some teams not as much. And right now, there's a level of professionalism, certainly with Legion of LA, and they've done this before. They're not new to it. They've raced in the ZRL. So I would expect that they're at a pretty high level in knowing what they're doing out here in a team time trial specifically. Back in with Legion, the aforementioned team, Legion of LA here.
Yeah, we're trying to get across I'm actually trying to get across to the Jet team. We're just having a little bit of struggle with it. So we'll stick in with Sam and the boys here for just a moment. But I wanted to highlight Jet in the espressos because they definitely were able to raise a solid amount of cash here. $736 actually coming in from the Jet Racing team in that espresso crew. Just
Great.
really want to highlight those in the Platinum League that have really put in the effort to put that out there. So I think Jet, maybe what's crazy is I think the reason I can't find them is because they just raised money for us for WBR today and didn't show, which is like, wow, thank you. Like, because I don't see them started. Like, they have no start. Like,
Or
I'm
maybe a
clicking
different
around.
zone. Maybe they're in a different zone.
I have them scheduled for PL, so I think they were.
Yeah,
I
no,
think.
I see. Well, let me give him a shout out anyways, Nathan, if you don't mind. I
Yeah, go
didn't
ahead.
because you're right. Yeah, so Hirofumi Uyama, Kat Yaguchi. So most of the riders are Japanese. There's an American and a rider out of the United Kingdom. Reb Beatty is one of the Americans on the team. Esbuchi is joined by Taishu Iwai, Takashi Inamani, and then Tim Raymond from United Kingdom. Sotsumu Iwabuchi, Sotsumu Ono, and Yuki Shimode making up that team Jet. So thank you for your support. It goes a
Huge
long
thank you.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
really
awesome.
appreciate it.
There's a lot of teams also that are not in Platinum League, and I'm just gonna shout out like the top ones here from Espresso that are like the top 5. 877 from a very well-known team, Dirt Diggler. Great job to them. We see
Wow.
374 coming from Zed Sun Magnetar, HDR Cheesecake as well with 372. Coalition Mira there with 334, and the Team CLS Cyclones there. Eat Dirt, the usual, and the Dirty Rascals Rogue and Dirty Rascals Riot, all in that 207, 257 range. So big shout out to all the Dirt teams that have put in a huge effort as well.
Yeah, great. Nathan, on that note, today's really going to be focusing on those that went above and beyond. And Crush Pod, they have a few teams that raised over 3,700. That number has gone up since Kate told me this a little earlier, but want to shout out the Crush Pod teams out there. Always have a lot of love for those ladies. All of the ladies will be out on course here probably right about now as we're in with Corey Williams. I'm a huge fan of this human being. Corey Williams is doing a tremendous job of leading us into the future with racing up out of the saddle on that Buffalo bike right now. And as we take a look, all four together, boy, they look solid, Nathan. And they are motoring here, coming up quickly on 10K to go. That fastest time just on the inside of 50 minutes out there. This is Crush Pod. Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to get in there
great.
with them. They out on the Buffalo, but and they're all matching too. Good to see that they all jumped in with the Envies. Nice job on them. And across all the Crush Pod teams, we're over $3,000 across all the Crush Pod teams. Amazing job by these teams. And I just want to. I'm gonna see if we can get an idea between them. I think Crush Pod 2 is $913 total from this specific team that's in Vienna Latte, if I'm not incorrect, if this is Crush Pod 2. There's so many Crush Pod teams, though.
That looks
it's
like
hard to
you
even
do
keep
not
track
mess
of.
with these. Yeah, don't mess with these ladies, Nathan. Right? I mean, they look like they are taking care of business.
Yeah, they're absolutely. Well, they're usually they're the last to go, and the reason why is they are the winners of this category week in and week out almost. So be on the watch out for them for the win today. They also, they're going to take some time off of their just
what everyone
finishing
needed.
time. Backpedal 27 minutes coming off their time with 27 bikes. So for every bike you raise, it's 1 minute, right? So far, CrushBot are going to be taking, I believe, almost 2-3 minutes off of their time. We'll see what they end up with here from CrushBot 2, but huge effort here coming in from this specific team. Also, though, in this category is going to be ZR Scott Elba with the Platinum League Vienna Latte. And I want to give a big shout out actually to Vienna Latte. I'm looking through and I can actually bring this up. Pretty awesome of this category. Take a look at this. Look at Vienna Latte. Look at how many of the PL teams on the left-hand side there and what we're looking at here.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, all in there with, well over $1,000 or so, maybe even up into 2,000 with the numbers. So great job to the Vienna Lattes and what they've pulled off here.
Yeah, I saw Dutch Diesel there also. That's extremely cool to see
The
that they were
Atomic
over
Kittens, yeah,
2,000.
2,000.
Yeah.
Woo,
Oh,
Zone
wow.
17. That's later
So,
tonight.
hey,
They'll be going off with me actually tonight, and I'm gonna have to maybe bump things up a little bit to take some time off for after on
it's
OTR Hayes actually because they're on the board as well.
by the time this is done and dusted, Nathan, Backpedal's gonna have a negative split. Like their time is gonna be minus 5 minutes. They
They'd have to
finished
get over.
before
What
they
would they have? They'd
started.
have to get over 50. They'd have to be over 50 bikes, right, or something
Yeah.
along those
I
lines. I
wouldn't
mean,
put it past them, to be honest. I mean, the unbelievable effort there. And, isn't it interesting, Nathan, how the spirit of giving, right? Speaking with Claire Geiger always makes me feel really emotional because it's just so awesome what World Bicycle Relief is doing, right? But, I mean, how do you not pull for Backpedal the next time that you see that they're, in the mix? I mean, it's impossible to not root for the good guys for me. And Backpedal absolutely shows that they've got heart when they make this kind of effort out there, as do a lot of other teams. This is you guys at your best, people. It makes me so proud to be associated in my own small way, Nathan, with what you've created here, and Martin as well with WTRL. To see, I hate to put Martin on the spot, and I'm not looking at Discord right now, but I'm hoping we hit 100,000 during this broadcast.
be
We're
amazing if we
only
did.
we're
Absolutely
not even an
amazing.
hour in. Yeah, but keep on keeping on, folks. You can go to worldbicyclerelief.org and buy a bike.
Wanted to jump in
What did we
with
say? $170.
yeah. I
People have
think
lunch, Nathan, this time of year. Some people go out and have lunch that costs more than that, right? So
$165 actually. $165.
165,
So, um, and it looks like currently we are at
€140.
$91,816 right now. $91,816. The Woolly Rhinos here. It looks like Tandy is kind of on his own Buffalo
Solo
bike
Rhino.
challenge, hammering away here. Not sure what this rhino is doing, but I am sure about what this rhino has done to raise $495 so far out of the Latte Cruise. So big thank you to that. As I'm not sure like what got into the rhinos today because this is not
They
even
went
close
wild.
to what we usually see
went-
from them. So
Yeah. Well, the fundraising was so exceptional that you see it definitely change the dynamic a little bit. You don't normally see a solo rhino or a dual rhino setup. This has been one of our top teams week in, week out. But they know we love them, and we know how much we appreciate their efforts. I like this world, Nathan. Um, it's a challenging course. I could do it maybe a little flatter personally. It's a team time trial, old school person, but I certainly what a amazing world our Zwift engineers created.
Zed Sun Venus coming in at $235 total raise. This whole Latte crew actually. I go through the list.
Bike and a half.
And it just doesn't stop actually. The Vikings Valhalla as well. They've come in here with 227. Mjolnir as well have come in right around the same. So Valhalla actually 214. Mjolnir there were 225. So big shout out to them. Kirchmer Latte 3. The KC crew have also come in over $200, 210. So this Latte Platinum, the Isotopes as well. Actually, one of the first ones we jumped in with. Isotopes are coming in with $169.10. So huge effort put in here specifically by this entire Latte crew.
Yeah. Did you know Freddie Ovitt ran a marathon, the LA marathon, about a month ago, Nathan? Have you ever run one?
Ago? Really? I thought
Yeah.
wasn't he
did it 3 hours.
Wasn't running's obviously a part of his
His dad is a
multi-time Olympic
winner.
champion. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the genes, right? And I think didn't Freddie run a little bit prior to cycling? I have a feeling, or I'm not.
That's a good question. Now that I'm going to assume yes, it seems like it would be in the DNA in his family, but I've only known him as a cyclist, to tell you the truth. So I've known Corey Williams since he was about 12, I would say, Nathan. He used to show up down in the LA scene, tagging along as Rasan Bahati was hitting his stride as a top pro, or was in his pro that window, because Rasan had a long career. But Corey was one of the young kids that really embraced racing right behind his brother Justin. And man, has Corey turned into an impressive game changer in the sport of cycling. There's no doubt. As you see, he's hanging in there today with this Legion team that started with 4. They're down to 6.5K left to go.
Jumping across quickly over to our top fundraisers so far before they finish up their race. They're into their final K or so, K and a half to go, as they look to try and hold off the Cycling Power team. Let's see what the times are right now, as well as the fundraising, as it does. It's going to be interesting, as we were chatting about, as to whether or not they're going to go with a negative on the day here. Virtuoso came in with a 37.38. It looks like Smurf Spray Espresso there with a 38.22. Cryo T 38.28. And then Backpedal there with a 38.39. But with 27 minutes off of their time, with how much money they've raised, I think they're going to be the outright winners. But you could still challenge if you want to win. You can. This is the one day that we allow. This is the one day throughout all of where you can actually pay to win.
Right.
On the day
we are today, bribable. So. Martin is bribable today. Do it in Buffalo Bike, not NFTs.
I don't know. So that's Buffalo a thing in gaming, Dave. I don't know if you know of that. It's a huge thing in gaming. Pay to win or play to win has always been a big issue. Well, yeah, it's always been a thing. Like, can you buy gear, right, that will upgrade you to a point that you're going? Like, if you could buy the faster bikes and they were that big of a deal, then there might be an issue, right? So that has definitely always been this conversation with developers as to whether or not they're going to try and make money off of the spirit of competition or not, right? So this is the one day, for the sake of WBR here, that you can pay to win. And who's actually winning though, Dave? Right? That's the real story, is like their accomplishment here with that 27 minutes off is 27 people directly impacted and their entire lives changed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I guess that really encapsulating. Thanks for joining us out here today on 138th consecutive week of WTRL. This is the second time, unless I missed one very early on, Nathan, at least in our time with broadcasting on Zwift Community Live, the World Bicycle Relief Benefit event. And the turnout has been phenomenal. And it's not the number of racers, it's the amount of heart and funds raised. I just saw from, you remember Natika from Seattle, from the Pacific Northwest, Nathan? Formerly of the Audi team. She's now on Coalition Nimbus, and I'm hearing that 4 out of the top 6 fundraising teams are out of that time zone, 17. That's Pacific State. That's your time zone, right?
Yeah, my time zone. Yeah.
West Coast, that's probably about 8:30 at night your time. But
it's exactly what time it is. I have to be on the bike by 8 o'clock to really get my warm up and make sure the kids are fed and everything, and do the dirt thing. I do the dirt thing at 8 o'clock and make sure that we get on the bike. So yeah, that's definitely the time zone I'm gonna be in.
No down and dirty diapers. Well, you're beyond that stage anyway, so you don't have to worry. And with Volendam, legendary squad. Now, oh boy, so there have been literally hundreds and hundreds of great stories, but this is what I remember from the early days of, correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, but isn't this the team where all of the riders live within 10K of each other?
Well, that's a good question. I don't actually...
Which is very rare at this level of racing. Most of these teams are really comprised of riders from... It's more common to see riders from other sides of the globe than to see riders from 10K. But it might not have been Volendam now that I think about it. But another one of the teams that certainly are OG squads out here, down to 5 riders, but that's fine because they're now within 1K of the finish line here. Fast time as well. Anything in the low 50s is very, very quick. I've only seen so far today one team that's gone under 50 minutes out here on a heavy day of racing.
See if we can jump in with the Dirt Time Chasers. They're going to be in the Frappes. I'm not sure if they have finished up just yet. We're seeing if we can find them out on course, but they are one of the top fundraisers as well in this Platinum League. As we jump around for the Platinum League for the men's side of things, the women have gotten out on course. We will jump over to them ASAP. We definitely want to get through a few of our top teams that have done an amazing job here in the Platinum League to raise the funds. And Dirt Time Chasers have done a crazy job. Dirt Time Chasers, they're coming in at $1,519 out of the Frappe. Dirt Time Chasers Zeta. Huge
Holy
effort by
cow.
them.
So nice to see Toyota Crown. I didn't realize that you could get the disc wheel onto your Buffalo bike.
Yep. Yeah. And I think there's an advantage from doing so too.
There must be.
Sure there's
Yeah. Legion did it, which tells me that that certainly because they're looking to get the fastest time out there today. Most of our men's teams are within that final few K of racing. Nathan, that dirt team that you were mentioning, I wanted to give a shout out to Kurt Wall, David Squirrell, D. Dubu, Paul Robertson, Peter Rusmund, Pim de Vromen, Snowy Pruitt, all on that squad.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can find them on out on course. We're having a little bit of trouble finding any of our Frappes actually. So, but a big shout out to them.
You were mentioning a lot of fundraising effort made there that we sure appreciate.
Yeah, we can at least show actually what they've done and what they're up to. He actually here, as you can see here in the Frappes, and you can see all the Platinum League actually raisers here. Dirt Time Chasers Zeta's coming in with that 1519. Valhalla Leg Biter also in that Frappe, $639, and Tugas Fular, $205 coming in from them. As we did say, the Woolly Rhinos, as you can see here, that Latte crew really killing it here with this top, I would say 5 or so. And then in the Mochas as well, as you can see, the Sumatra Rhinos here, TBR Renegades, TFC Hurricane, and the Team Type 1 Gluconauts all putting some cash in. So big thanks to all of them.
Thank you. As
we finish up our men's side of the Platinum League. Huge job, as you can see from them. And we'll be jumping over to the ladies here in just a moment. They are going to be about a lap in. As we've been hanging out with the boys for a while here, and because of that, our helicopter has gotten some shots I don't think I've ever even seen before.
Beautiful. I just heard from the so Z Scott said, call them Zed Scott, please. So
Yep. It's starting again. Here we go. All right, we're working on it.
We're doing our best on that, by the way.
Zed Scott, got it. I love it.
Makes sense. We're you know what? We're a work in progress.
I don't know if they know we're broadcasting out of America. I mean, I don't know.
Who knows? They've got ears and eyes everywhere.
Alba, here they are, killing it.
Yeah, Zed Scott.
It's Zed Scott.
Hey, they deserve a shout out. They're flying out here, looking very, very well collected, I must say. Good job, Lorna and team. So we'll have the same split, same deal for the women out here. They just start half an hour later. That's WTRL has done a tremendous job of creating opportunities for women to race, and all of the different levels we have out here are greatly appreciated by the community. And Cycling Power, the Danish team, with the 1359, they're on their A game today. Crush Pod 2, we were shouting out Crush Pod for their tremendous fundraising efforts out there in the mix. 1407 in second quickest at Split 1. 36.8 kilometers of racing. Those are the 3 time checks that you can see as times are coming through. Very close for Zed Sun R Pluto. 1427, only 1 second behind is WTRL. What's up then to ZR Scott Alba, who are looking at on screen right now with a 14:36, Rave Against the Machine, 14:52, Fearsome, 14:57, and then only 1 second behind them, the Atom Racing Team Electrons.
Jump around a little bit here. Zed's got Alba, as we did say earlier, in that second place for raising cash right now. So 770. That's actually gone up since the last time we've checked it. So good on them as they continue to push everybody to get a little bit higher and higher here in the funds raised. Out of the Platinum League, we'll focus in on that. Is that who's we're looking at? Also, the WTR team, a very well-known team to us here, Dave, that we've seen week in and week out forever, and that's going to be What's UPC, What's Up C, with a solid raising here. They're coming in at $467 raised, actually,
good.
to push that 91,000 toward that 92,000 we're trying to hit still.
Yeah, that's nearly 3 bikes just from that one team. I would love to get feedback on how they would like that said. What's up? See what because I want to just say what's up.
They've never given it.
They've never said.
They've always been like, it's fine. Just do
Whatever.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's classic.
Canadian.
I mean,
just
they're
whatever
Canadian,
works for
so,
you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Not
We're
here to cause trouble.
Actually,
Yeah.
none of them on this is Canadian here, though.
No.
That's the funny thing. I'm just giving this entire team, our production, one of our awesome production and WTRL in the background managers, Aaron Mack, personality. I'm giving this entire team Aaron Mack personality right now.
Just laid back. That's the no drama llamas, right? They're,
exactly. That's why I'm just like, well, that's the same thing, right? No drama. Let's go.
Yeah, no doubt. So this is WTRL that we're in with right now. You can see the riders are on their Buffalo bikes if you're just joining us. We've been honoring and raising funds for, and I just heard Nathan say we're getting close to $92,000. You can go to
We've
World
actually
Bicycle
pushed
Relief.
it. We've $92,98. Yep, $92,098.
Great. Well, let's keep it going. I know that Claire Geiger, who was our guest earlier, the Director of Partnerships, what a awesome I mean, she really embodies just that energy and vibe when you talk about what World Bicycle. So we're going to just keep on rolling with WTRL right now. As again, you could start with 8 riders and not many teams. Well, so they're not quite through the first half of this race, but not many teams have been able to keep 7 together. But we're going to be joined by Sam Boardman. Sam is part of, they must have just finished, is my guess, of the Legion of LA team. And I would have to say at this point now, having someone like Sam involved in today, this is the perfect guy to connect all of the dots. Sam is. Hey, we'll see if Sam, can you hear me right now? Dave Towle here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. I can hear Sam right now, which is nice. Hey, Sam. Hey. Sam. First off, how hard was it? You doing okay? It's probably been a little while since you've done a team time trial out here on Zwift.
That was really hard. I haven't seen watts like that in months. It's been a very, very chill off season. That was definitely I to say wake up call implies like the gentle phone ringing by your bedside in the hotel. That was more like a slap in the face or a bucket of water on you. But it was still fun. It's nice to break up the training that we do in the off season with something fun and getting to connect again with riders from around the world and the team, and just getting to do it for a good cause and something fun.
Yeah, and Sam, I've always appreciated, I've thought of you as a thinking man cyclist and someone who understands that it's a lot more than sometimes we get wrapped up in, right? Can you talk to me about how you first connected with World Bicycle Relief? I mean, I have to think this is something that's right up your alley. What connected you to WBR?
Well, I've heard of World Bicycle Relief from a variety of different activations that they've done within the cycling community. I think they're a great charity, and the team connected us with World Bicycle Relief and said that they had this fun little format for an event on how to raise money. And I heard that you guys were at $92,000 worth of funds, which is fantastic. And so I threw my hand up, and I am notoriously not the best Zwift racer at all. I am a bit of a technological Luddite when it comes to the Zwift platform, but I do love Zwift for training, and I do just enjoy the punctuation of fun events, especially ones that have great causes behind them, as a way to, just make training a little more productive, if that makes sense. Oftentimes during the off season, it's easy just to get bogged down in the feeling like I'm just riding my bike into oblivion. But when you pair it with a charity effort like that of World Bicycle Relief and a fun event just to keep your brain engaged, it makes it all the better.
You're in Montana, is that correct?
Yep. So my partner, Jess Sarah, and we recently relocated earlier in the summer to Whitefish, Montana, which is just 60 miles shy of the Canadian border. And I was in San Diego prior to that. So I literally went from one end of the country to the other, going north-south. And we're now reaching what I would say is real winter. We've had first snowfall this week, and I went on skis for the first time in my life a couple days ago. Yeah. I'd never strapped into a pair of skis before.
So, you know what? I'm amazed by that, to tell you the truth. But that being said, we've all been through tons of changes over the last couple of years, and you moving on to Legion of LA. For me, when I heard it, Sam, I thought, couldn't be a better fit. Talk to me about how it's worked out being a part of a team that's on the front end of change. I mean, it was certainly 2021 was a year that we really pushed through to a different level, I thought. You must be super proud.
2021 was great. The racing was fantastic. And I think what was really excellent was just being able to race a lot domestically in places that I didn't think I would get to. For example, going back home, I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and getting to race Armed Forces Classic after 5 years or so of not being able to go there was really, really special. And to get to do that with a team that was able to activate within the community was really special and amazing. And I think mainly it was a matter of questioning whether the season would actually happen. I think a lot of us were apprehensive going into 2021 within the pandemic, how racing would shape up. And I think the calendar ended up working out very well. And we ended up getting a lot of great racing and a lot of great results within the racing. So that was great.
I want to talk to you about the bigger purpose here, man. And I saw it. I saw it in Tulsa. I saw it in Gateway. Impact you had in the communities that you went to with the team, being around the Williams brothers and feeling that new energy. Something I'm going to guess 3-4 years ago, probably didn't really imagine would happen in a professional cycling career. You'd have to get that from somewhere else. But it's bizarre how this all came together in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's special getting to race domestically within the country, just because I think that you get to interact with the crowds that come in much more meaningful ways, just because, while racing internationally is very cool and a very great experience for cultural exchange, sometimes, linguistic barriers or cultural barriers prevent you from connecting with your audience in profound or impactful ways. Whereas, you go to any American town and you can speak with the locals and interact with the locals. And I think that's what makes it very special to get to race around the country with the team. You go to a place like Tulsa, Joe Martin, Armed Forces Classic, all of the crits that we went to. And yeah, Gila. And pretty much any domestic race, you get to go there and you can interact in meaningful ways with other American people who you're trying to encourage to get on the bicycle. Whereas, if you go internationally, again, it's a very cool cultural experience, but it's been very nice to be able to race domestically, because after the race is over, for example, I can finish the race and someone might come up to me and I'll be able to have a meaningful conversation with them because we're both speaking the same language and, we come from the same country.
Well, it reminds me of so many things. This is Sam Boardman joining us, American professional racer on the Legion of LA team. Sam, when you think about it, they say you have to acting globally and locally and all of these things. Well, a lot of time it's a mix of all of that, right? I know that I remember Alex Candelario and some of his teammates went over with World Bicycle Relief. Would you be interested in taking some of the team and going over and seeing one of the bicycle workshops? Would you be a good bicycle mechanic if I put you in the Sub-Saharan with the Buffalo bike, a fleet of them? Do you think you could manage that, or would you be overwhelmed? I have a feeling you're okay with the mechanic.
I would love to go. I mean, that sounds like an amazing trip, and I've always loved tinkering on bikes, and I've loved working on bikes. So I think I would probably enjoy that part of
it. So again, I want to thank the rest of the team as well. If you would thank them for us, Sam, it was great having Legion of LA with us. What was your time, by the way? I know everyone was trying to beat you out there. You might be in trouble, to tell you the truth. We had some really good teams today. Make sure you tell.
I didn't see the time. I was kind of slumped over my handlebars when we came across the line.
Hey, last positive note, Sam, I did want to thank you and Jess for what you give back to this community. I know that you're an ally to many out there, and just wanted to give a chance for all the good people to come up to Montana. I hope that you're planning for another Last Great Ride. What would the date be so I can jot that down?
So the Last Best Ride is the event that my partner Jess Sarah and I host in Whitefish, Montana. It's an all-inclusive gravel ride. The dates will be August 19th through the 21st will be the race weekend, but the event itself will be August 21st. That's a Sunday. And you can find any and all information that you want about the event at www.thelastbestridement.com. or just Google The Last Best Ride. So if anyone's interested in coming, enjoying seeing what Northwest Montana has to offer, and it has a lot to offer, we highly encourage any and all people to come out.
Heck yeah. Sam, I might have to do that. I'm actually like thinking about lots of gravel this next year. So might see me out there, Sam. I appreciate it. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Sam, I'm sorry I said great. It's best. That was the last best state book that was about Montana, where they helped derive the name for the ride. Yep. So yeah,
So that was Kittredge and Annex Smith. The name of the book, published in 1988, The Last Best Place, has been adopted as a moniker for Montana, and that's the play on words that we've made for our event.
Nice, awesome.
Well, it works. It really does. Thanks a lot, Sam Boardman.
Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah, cheers, Sam. Thanks to Legion of Los Angeles as well, Dave. That was a great
little
look into their participation in the event today and what they've gotten done and helped to encourage all of this awesome fundraising. We're back in with the ladies now, as it's Total Try out on course, hammering away right now. And solid little push here coming from Bradders as well as the rest of their TTT Zoot team. It's going to be the Art Electrons here. It looks like chasing them down about 53 seconds back. I think it's very close racing right now between the ladies here in this Vienna Latte. 14:06, 14:10, 14:25, all within 1 minute of each other, actually. On a pretty long day, these ladies got about 13K to go at this point, so plenty of time to make up some time here on this course that is a little bumpy.
Yeah, even more than just a little. This is a very challenging course. We've got the Redders out on here today. Boy, that's close too. There we go, filling in the splits there right around the midpoint of the race, and it's still very close. But it's Cycling Power Women back on top with the half hour, 30:01. It's 30:12 sitting in second for Crush Pod 2, WTRL Watts UPC with the 30:21. And it's only 3 seconds back to fourth for Zed Son R. Pluto. 30:56 for Zed R. Alba there in 50 Electrons. Fearsome Rave their time rounding out your top 8 here in our Vienna Latte class. So it's all women out on course now. But you really get a feel for the quality of character that Sam Boardman is, don't you, Nathan? Just an all-around great dude. A thinking man's racer for sure. Big thank 100%. You, Sam, for taking the time.
Loved having him on the
Yeah,
program and to
good
hear a
dude.
little bit more about his involvement there with the Legion of LA and what he's doing for the cycling community as well. And great for
Yeah,
them
he was
to
a
jump
coach.
in.
He coached the collegiate team down in when he was in Southern California as well, giving back. When he was a first-year professional, he was already part of the process of giving back, and that continues. I have a feeling we're going to see you in Montana. I can read the tea leaves. That just sounds too good.
Let's take a quick look here at our current leaderboard as well. We've got the leaderboards
Bring
for
your
the
bear spray.
times, but I'll definitely bring for some. There's plenty of my wheelhouse hanging out in Montana as well. So there's a little bit
True.
of the MTB crew. I wonder how it's going to mix up together too when it comes to
Sam
being on gravel.
Schultz, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, Sammy Schultz for sure, and used to ride for that Trek Factory Racing. So, and there's also a Pro XCT that takes place there in his backyard ish. So currently
that's
sitting
right.
here,
Wow.
for still backpedal at the top. Lightning
Look who moved
Velo.
up. Lightning Velo. Yeah. I mean, that 3,400 was where Backpedal was when we started the broadcast. They came on strong. Coalition Nimbus. That's the team we were talking about, Natika, out of Seattle. And look at them, 25-33, just that one team there. The Frappes, Nathan, the WMZ4 with 1,641. Sisu, I raced like a girl. One of the top teams in the world on bike and off. 2,428 on the Rivet Slacken. This is awesome. And well, this is how we get to 100,000, folks. Keep pushing.
Yeah, awesome to see that Vienna Espresso team in the Platinum League actually with Catherine Curry coming in with such a huge amount. Actually, that's great to see them with that 24.28 there, $2,428.
Just, sort of on the outlier theme. I mean, Backpedal is a Doppio team. It's rare that you see the top athletes also as your top fundraisers, right? It just makes it even that much more impressive to me. This is Catherine Curry.
Unicorns at the top currently for the times. Catherine Curry here from CSR Race Like a Girl getting us in with the Vienna Espressos as they make their way through the tempo here. Climb. And it looks like who's here?
Makes me wonder who's
Leah
on
Thorvaldsen.
that team. Yeah.
Leah
Thorvaldsen,
there you go. Actually, I think but she was with with Sox for Watts Aero Unicorns actually. So interesting enough, I think she did get dropped off. The pace maybe a little high out there today.
Well, let me start with I Race Like a Girl. Sisu this is the A team, no doubt, as you've got Nussbaumer, Kessler, Curie, Johann, Wendorf. And now is Cassie Baldy racing with them now? I don't think so. I'm going to guess she's with, I'm going to figure that out, actually. This is where we have riders who race for a few different teams because it is WTRL.
I'd be really surprised if Cassie was racing with CSR Race a Girl. I don't ever see
Rachel Elliott is racing for Sox for Watts with Jane Despis and Emmy Colling. Those are three of their big names. It must be Cassie also with them.
For Sox for Watts. Sorry, I thought you were talking about I Race Like a Girl.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yes, definitely I would see Cassie Baldy racing for.
You're right, I was actually, just so I don't act like I'm trying to change the facts. I was. But now I'm seeing that she's with Aero Unicorns. Right. So that makes sense. Did they start with 4 talking about the Aero Unicorns? That's Sox for Watts?
Question. It looks like today Sox for Watts Aero Unicorns starting in with 7. They did lose Leah Thorvaldsen so far. I wonder if
Alice Lethbridge must be riding with them. And Louis Huback.
I would not be surprised at all. That's why these times are insane.
Sense.
It would make a lot of sense why they're pulling a 25.56 right now.
Well, it starts to add up when you hear that. Lethbridge, who I just saw signed her pro contract for next year. Very nice to see. And Louis Huback is a legend. So it all makes sense now.
And there they are on the front. Here comes Rachel Elliott, Cassie Baldy, Lethbridge, Despas, Huback, Colling is here. This is a monster team. This is the team. And let's see what kind of time they can pull off, I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty solid go here with this Vienna crew.
Yeah, it's hard to overstate the talent that you've got on this squad, and when they're in full force. Now, we haven't seen this in a little while, so it's exciting for sure. This is
They're
typically
going to need some help, though,
a lot
Dave.
of the high
They're
note.
going to need a little bit of help, though, on the other side of things. They may be able to win on the time today, but there's a competition throwing down
Oh, well,
right
Sisu's
now.
got that.
With, I mean,
If you look at it that
Sisu-
way, Sisu
Sisu
owns
versus BBB versus Aero Unicorns, but you still got time. You still
it. Sisu's
have
bought more than
till tomorrow.
like 15. Sisu's
noon.
bought like 16 bikes.
But Soxhawats can still win before tomorrow at
If they
noon.
buy bikes,
If they
you gotta buy some bikes.
2,000
Yeah.
if they got to throw down, or they have to win by how many minutes? They have to put
Like
a few
17
minutes into.
minutes.
Yeah, they have to put a few minutes into the Seaside Race Like a Girl team. Either way, it's awesome what's going on because you're going to have
This
some
might
amazing
be-
time set, and this might be a world record time being set. Well, we'll
But
see
you
how
know,
this
it's
ends
funny,
up playing out.
I'm rooting against them. I can't believe it, but I'm actually not pulling for them because I
What's
want
the-
World
why
Bicycle
is
Relief
that?
to win.
Oh,
I want World
gotcha.
Bicycle Relief to win, man.
Hold on a second. If Soxhawats
I'm
Aero
seriously
Unicorns
invested
win,
in that.
if Soxhawats Aero Unicorns wins, that just means that a bunch more money was raised, right? So I'm rooting for Soxhawats Aero
Oh.
Unicorns at this point.
Okay, well, I hope it becomes a battle of the bank. That's for sure. But you know what? In all honesty, isn't it nice to see them back? This is a team that, and it makes sense. They've taken a little bit of a break, but obviously they're firing on all cylinders today. Historically, one of the all-time greats in the WTRL, 138th consecutive
They won.
week with
They won
Well, at
like
least
20
60.
plus weeks in a row or something. It was like
Yeah.
never ending unicorns, Soxhawats domination. They weren't always called Soxhawats though. Prior to that, I believe they were the WRT
good trivia
team.
question.
And a couple of,
That's
and
great.
before that, there was something else too. So it's been a lot of different. Because they were a mixture of the like Hino and Kiss Racing Team and
And
Draft
socks
were
for
in
what
there
is
as
an
well.
actual? Isn't that an? I mean, it's an actual brand of socks,
it is
right? It's
it
a
is,
sponsor.
Yeah, I have
Right,
some of them
so-
here. They sent me some
Right.
unicorn socks actually.
Yeah, they're
They have
very
that
well known in
unicorn.
the
They have
sock
that
world.
unicorn on them actually. So
So they were one of the first teams that no pins came along that were sort of driven out of an esports origin, which is extremely cool. This is the Italian rider on the team, Emi Colin.
See
They
if we
are
can,
6K from the finish.
let's see if we can jump across to the some of the ladies in the Vienna Frappe as well to get more hype around what's been going on with them because out of the Platinum League, we do still have plenty in Vienna Frappe. The Vegan Gazelles and Crush Pod are demolishing it right now when it comes to the fundraising. Vegan Gazelles have raised $1,622. That's
Fantastic.
insane. Just
Yeah.
insane.
I'm not surprised. That's a really cool team. Really, this is Vienna Frappes that we're looking at here now. Yeah, today has a very special element to it, raising funds for World Bicycle Relief. And folks, you've been amazing. Let's keep it going. As I hope when it's done and dusted, we do see it go over 100K. So big thanks to Guerra, the cycling clothing manufacturer located right here in Colorado, where I am. But they have a worldwide reputation. And Saris, who jumped in, and obviously their tremendous support continues, but another $10,000 added by both of the Guerra and Saris. So thank you for helping really kickstart the great vibe. Crushpod themselves raising, I think I said, with all their different teams, over 2,500. That's me being conservative. As we see that the team now looking at about 10K to go. This is Fearless here.
Yeah, jumping in with
just
Sonia Whiteman, who's going to help us out for just a moment. to get in here. This is one of the toughest parts on a course. 10K to go, and they come over the top of that little in quotes bump. I did do this course just recently. I did a chase.
I love
race,
the
actually.
feel. Just it seems so cool. Sukis playground that we're on. Who's Suki?
That's a good question. Actually, it came up when I was doing a search for this course, actually, that there's a couple of different stories there.
Different possibilities. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, there's a lot of. It looks like this is probably
Like
not
Kappa.
what's gonna come up. This is not what's gonna.
Yeah.
This is not what
Yeah.
we're looking for. These are not the droids, okay? So we're just gonna. These are not the droids that
Yeah.
we're looking for. We're just gonna wave our hand at that one, and let everyone's mind look for other droids. So definitely wanted to jump in with the gazelles though, as Team Vegan. I think this is gonna be one that's dropped off, perhaps from the front runners in the gazelles, but they have done an amazing job and definitely need a highlight out here today as the top fundraisers in the Platinum League for the Vienna Frappes at that $1,622.93. Huge on them. So congratulations on them for taking down the fundraising. And that's going to be, what is that going to be? That's going to be, I think, 10 plus minutes off their time. So definitely going to be able to take down, I think, the win out here today as well.
Celia's Secret is the New Zealander on the team. Chris Wackerman from the United States. Welsh rider Jane Geddes. Swedish rider Marie Tomila. German is Rafaela Reichert from the United Kingdom. Then a couple more riders on this squad: S.J. Davies, Suzanne Goldman. And good job to all the vegan gazelles out here. We appreciate your fundraising efforts. Made a big difference. About 8K to go for the ladies out here. Time taken off of the 4th. That's something important to remember. Sweet.
Yeah, and also across the frappe here, it is going to be the Crush Pod crew, 941.35. And then we also have Coalition Equinox. Definitely need a shout out. Big fundraising coming in from them at that $662.62. Nice job with them. Sox Squats, Odd Sox, we did say 532. Fearsome that we jumped in there with Sonia Whiteman coming in at that $384, and then it's gonna be Evo Comets at $177.92. So as we look at the times, you can also get an idea of what kind of times they're going to end up with on the day. Vegan Gazelles coming in still with 3rd place too at 46.29. They're having a good day on the bike as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Shows you how impressive that draft team is we were in with a little bit earlier. That's a real franchise when you look at draft on top of the leaderboard here for our Vienna Frappes with a 44.49, 47.44 for total try. Ladies getting posted 47.32. In 5th quickest is B2B. Virtually Slow, no doubt, 47.09, 4th quickest. And then Vegan Gazelles in with the 3rd fastest time right now behind our Swedish friends, TSZ Cinnamon Rolls with a 45.43, 2nd quickest. So they're chasing draft out there. This is Coalition that we're looking at now, the familiar look of the Coalition squad rolling strong here as they come up on 7K, 8K to go.
Now, we definitely have not done any highlights so far with the Vienna category, but we definitely want to do that. And one of the teams that is long-standing, huge supporters of everything WTRL as well as Zwift Community Live is going to be that Live by Cycling team. Big shout out to them being the 2nd to top fundraisers in the Viennas throughout the entirety of all of the zones. But the top fundraiser in the Platinum League in Vienna is at $728 is that Live by Cycling team.
Very impressive. Yeah, you can always count on Live by Cycling, that's for sure. Our friends, the Owls. So here we go. This is Christina that we're looking at. You see the riders listing their age. They take a lot of pride, as they should, in certainly being the senior team out here Vikings Iden with a 48.21, quickest time at the third and final check before the finish line. 51.51 for ZR Scott Aria. 52.42 for ZR Hydra. Zed Sun R Hydra. Those are the first three teams through. You see Live by Cycling that we're...
Yeah, I was going to see if we can find the rest of the Live by Cycling team. I do think those two are working together to get to the finish line together. Or perhaps they... maybe are the only show today? I'm going to double check. We're starting with 7, it says, though. So I'll look around and see if we can find the rest of the team. Because we definitely wanted to highlight them being the top fundraisers here in with on the day. And but Christina and Wendy, they're definitely out on course here helping each other out as they make their way. It's
No Owl.
Skeen and Christina Miller. That's the two that are here. They have done plenty. 73 races. It looks like for for Elaine Montoya, and then for 24 for Christina Miller. Wendy Skeen there at 39 total races actually in the WTRL.
Owls really look out for each other. They
as it looks like they are right now.
Yep, great team. You can see they're on their Buffalo bikes. No disc. They're opting for just straight standard issue Buffalo bikes. It's been a big day out here. Fundraising. We had a chance to meet Claire Geiger from World Bicycle Relief. You can always go to worldbicyclerelief.org to learn more about what they're doing. But so many of you, look at all the German flags here up on the board. So our Platinum League is the top teams from last week's racing are invited to be a part of the exclusive broadcast and be in the top end, the hierarchy of WTRL's teams. Not every team, depending on where globe and many factors, will actually accept the invitation, but I'd say 85% of the teams do end up racing in this time zone, but there's 19 other zones that go on throughout the day, including the infamous Zone 17.
So I'm being told by Martin, actually, that these standard Buffalo wheels are actually the fastest wheels you can have today. Huh.
See, the Owls showing some wisdom.
They did the reading. They read up on what to do. They got the inside tip. It looks like on what they needed to do to make.
So who's the sucker now? Legion of LA, right?
Here's the rest of the Owls. We found them. We found the rest of the Owls. This is the pack here. Catherine, Pam, Arlene, Cindy, Maria. A little ways back from them here. So great to see. I absolutely love it that they put their age in there. Like this is it's like this awesome bragging right, and like
hey, we should put our ages into the thing.
I don't know about that.
Maybe not. We're in the middle area where
I don't even know what the thing is. What is the thing?
To be proud of at 55. Yeah.
Where were you thinking about putting your age, Dave?
Next to my Twitter handle. In my non-fungible token. All right.
Who's going to pay for that one? Let me know what that value is, chat. Let me know what that value is. Catherine, Pam, Cindy, Arlene. No, 4 left, Dave. That's what they need to get to the line.
If Wout van Aert can only get 16K, I'm probably not going to be in the market. So, all right, Kirkmeyer Team B's at 47.51. That's
and $85 raised. And $85 raised for that team.
All right.
So shout out to them.
Thank you. Vikings Iden, 48.21. 50.17 is the Live by Cycling time in third fastest. But man, are they killing it in fundraising. ZR Scott Aria, fourth quickest now. So these are updating. Some of our faster teams, Nathan, are posting times at that last check. Actually, the Owls are realistically only less than 5K from being finished here.
It's a big day on the bike
throttle.
Today. Big day on the bike for all of these riders, actually. A lot of the times that are record times are over an hour, actually. Within the Mocas, within the Viennas as well.
That is currently a pool of sweat underneath you.
Zedson at a 107.33 actually for the top time. I do have a feeling that time is going to get taken down though, coming out of this Vienna crew. As you can see, these are the current course records for Sukis Playground. And thank you, Martin. Martin is letting me know how out of the loop I am as far as Suki goes. Introduced 2 months after UMezi's launch, Sukis Playground is a rather flat figure eight named in memory of Zwift's senior game designer, Richard Ye's dog, Suki, who passed while Richard was developing routes for the Umezi map. So that is pretty awesome.
There you go.
Yeah,
a dog. Sweet.
Yeah, hanging out with... So Kappa and Suki hang out together in the world of McCurry Islands is what I'm going to say here. As Cindy takes a pull at the front at 145 beats per minute, 3.6 watts per kilogram. And solid job here coming in from this team.
Yeah, this is the tough part now, especially if you're racing for the win out here, is keeping the focus, keeping the pressure on. You're down to that last really 5 minutes of racing here. And this is where you've worked so hard. You hate to give up anything now. Team B's flying 47.51. So they're in a different zip code than the Vikings Iden right now. Second place with the 48.21. Third quickest are the Eva Meteors. You can see that it is Live by Cycling. Fourth quickest, ZR Scott. Fifth, Angular Speed sitting in that sixth spot. But we're still waiting for the Infernos, the Blackbirds, and Mount Eagle to make their way through. Things will update. Even quicker times are expected.
This is the Vienna crew. Nice job to all the Viennas out here. And Crush Pod Cortada, who are going to be racing out of Zone 10. They'll be taking off at 12:44 p.m. CST, looks like. So are they in with us here? They must be in with us here if that's what time they took off at.
Yellow Eye Fairy Penguins. That's a new penguin for me. Nathan, I'm sure you're probably hip to it already.
I've never heard of these. This is a great name. I'm loving this. This is like a hidden Zone 11 name that I've never heard before.
Kind of flew under the radar.
They don't do platinum, so they probably just can't do it. But as you can see here, great job to everybody that has done the fundraising. I just want to give that Crush Pod team, though, a big shout out at that 1,036. They weren't going to get the highlight not being in the Platinum League, but Llama Corns and the herd of unicorns as well. Great to see. Rockies here as well. They've been a part of our Platinum League, 432.
For sure.
And Margaritas, 294. And
you ever wonder how many sweet
penguins? What the heck is a yellow eye fairy penguin?
It's a specific. I'm sure that what we've learned is there's literally hundreds of types of specific penguins.
It's a thing. So, it is actually a thing.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Like an emperor penguin. It's like probably shorter with yellow eyes.
Holy cow, is this a cool looking penguin, actually?
Kind of wild, it sounds like. I also wonder how many jokes we miss out on by not knowing Swedish or Danish or German. Nathan, there's got to be some inside jokes in Swedish that go
They're
right
all
past
making
us.
Fun of us. That's all that this is actually about. The broadcast is actually just about making fun of us. So
I assume so. Yeah. This Zed's
photo is for those penguins is hidden behind a wall. We'll see if we can find one that's not blocked because it is a really cool.
That's how exclusive they are. They don't even let you see their picture for free. That's an exclusive penguin. There's like 14 of them left. It is amazing the penguins range, right? When you see that they live in South Africa and they're all over, but I guess a lot more southern hemisphere, it seems. 8 riders together, wow. Hence the yellow eye.
Yeah, big yellow eye on that one.
Cool beak features.
I was going to put him in the corner. He ended up taking over the whole broadcast.
I think no one minded.
Making our way forward
handsome
here.
Penguin.
Yeah, well, he also, alongside the team, raised a good amount of money. I mean, $259 coming from those penguins. So thank you very much.
That penguin bought a buffalo.
But almost 2. Yeah. Took on the buffalo. Penguins and buffaloes. Rogers to the front. Now it looks like Zed Scott. ZR Scott. ZR Scott? 2.9 it looks
You're
like.
good with R. Yeah, there's no thank goodness we only say R one way. There's not an alternate R pronunciation like ZZ.
They'll think of something for us.
Yeah, they'll get us on something. Have you ever ridden a buffalo bike, Nathan? It's kind of an odd question because there's not a lot of them kicking around like for marketing purposes. But I was at an event where there was an actual buffalo bike, and it was really cool to get to experience. I mean, it's it's a robust bike. I'm going to guess 45 pounds, maybe. Not light at all. I mean, it's built to last, as the Grateful Dead say. And that's why, and they're repairable, serviceable. It's not there is an unlimited lifespan as long as you keep repairing and taking care of it.
I've actually never been able to ride
There's
buffalo bike.
you know what,
but
I remember.
Go ahead, Dave.
Well, they're not all over. It's not like they, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you can buy a buffalo bike in the United States. That's not the point of them. They're not for
Right,
fun.
like
or
if you have a
folly.
buffalo bike, why isn't that in Africa? I don't understand why you
100%.
have that bike, right? Like
That's exactly what I was thinking, and that's exactly the point. It's not something to show off to your rich friends and keep in a garage. It's to get to people who need it.
if they're all
that
over
simple.
America, they're not all over where they're supposed to be, right? Like that's
Amen, brother.
That would be
Yeah.
that'd be a problem. So, what are you doing with that buffalo bike? Trying to they should be all over somewhere else though, and because of today, they
So
will
I've never ridden a buffalo bike on Zwift, but I'm assuming that they've kind of leveled the playing field and that all of these bikes are just kind of like a standard, regular road bike kind of thing to keep it. If you made it ride like a real buffalo bike,
is it used to be like that actually, but they did change it up.
Very slow and heavy.
Yeah. But it has been changed up. It sounds like
I think that bums people out. To have to ride a real buffalo bike is a tremendous amount of work, and that's what, like in that the video where you see Smile. Remember that Smile probably weighs half of what you do, and her bike weighs twice what yours does. Right? I mean, she's an athlete. You get so fit by being able to master riding a buffalo bike. That's for sure.
Looking at the KC team, they've got a solid time coming on in here. It looks like Hirchmer is this going to be the Team B's, I believe, 47.51 right now. So I do not believe they're going to be able to be taken out when it comes to pure time. They will be taken out when it comes to funds raised, but and the time that will be taken off. As we get into the final few teams crossing the line out here today, a little bit of a reminder that you still have plenty of time to fundraise and head on over to WTRL and click those buttons in order to support your team that you want to support out there as the numbers continue to rise. We are trying, if we can break 100,000, I mean, that would be the big goal. And a lot of times in the last moments, of fundraising, people do jump on in and make that final push. So, the last check that I had, we are at 92,124, over 1,300 donors from 32 countries. So, still lots of time though.
You.
Noon tomorrow. I believe that's noon tomorrow. My time, or is that going to be Martin's time? Maybe that's Martin's time. I'll double check here. Mountain
Don't
time.
wait to the last
noon
minute.
Tomorrow Mountain time. Noon tomorrow. Yeah, don't wait to the last minute. 92,349. So we still need a solid 7,500 plus to hit that 100,000. If we can hit that 100,000 mark, it would be a huge accomplishment. I'll throw in a Buffalo bike or two tonight for OTR Hayes. We still have plenty of zones to go throughout the day, right, Dave, to set the best times as well as the highest fundraising. So I have a feeling throughout the rest of the day, because of the rest of the zones and because of the motivation from some of the other teams, we're going to have a pretty good kick, I think, through the second half of the day until tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of energy from the zones still to be tapped into. That's for sure. As we take a look at some teams now, most of these teams are just about there after what's been an awesome broadcast. 138 WTRL raising funds for World Bicycle Relief, and just echoing what Nathan said. Tremendous job, everyone. Let's keep pushing, and it'll be fun to watch how the rest of the day plays out. I'm sure that these riders will be happy to finish things up out here. It's a tough day of racing. As you said, an hour is rare going over an hour. This only happens a few times every year on WTRL.
And updating here, last year, 68K raised. I mean, it just gets better.
Squashed that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was then matched by private sponsors last year. So, I mean, we're killing it this year. Over almost 30,000 over the top of that. So just goes to show how great it is when you do something on a yearly basis. We're still not even sure what's going to get matched at the end of the day this year. So,
you basically doubled it ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. The higher we go, the better.
Killing it. So keep it going, everybody. We made last year look silly. We made last year look pedestrian.
A couple of minutes still.
We made last year look like a fool. Yeah. All right. So
RCP, who is this RCP team? I'm not actually super familiar with this team. It's going to be a newer Platinum League team, I think. AVC we are familiar with.
Together, I think that they've got 7, maybe 8 riders, 7 riders here to 1K, less than a K to go. Nice job.
Let's see if this is going to be RC Rebelunas. Anika Kloss, Jennifer Ornsorge, Katharina Stark, Nicole Brenner Zahler, Nicole Myers on this team, Sandra Lowe, Susan Muth also on this team. It does look like a little bit newer team. I wouldn't say new. One of the riders has 31 TTTs is a lot of TTTs. So 30 TTTs for Nicole Brenner as well. Some of the newer arrivals, though, to the team time trial within this team is going to be Sandra Lowe. So a big welcome to Sandra, as we are actually looking at her avatar right now. She crosses the line. Great job to her and the entirety of this RCP team. Welcome to the Platinum League, as I'm not sure we've seen them in Platinum too often before. So great to see them jumping in with us. I'm also seeing with 6 races coming in from Catherine Stark. So also Catherine, a little bit newer to the TTT. Welcome to the Platinum League.
All right. Well, you got a good look at the finish arch there, as that is done and dusted. We'll have a chance to review all of our results. You can always go to WTRL to see the website, as we do have the zones still to race. So when you see the results, they're sort of in real time, or not sort of, they are in real time. And they could update. We don't necessarily know that we've seen our fastest times. Part of why that matters is that the top 11 times will qualify for Platinum League next week. And there's a lot of teams, Nathan, that they like keeping their string going, or they've been fighting to get into the Platinum League. So this is a big deal. These results are checked frequently over and over throughout the day, just to see if it stood up at the time that you were looking for. So great day of racing, tremendous fundraising. Again, you're on the clock. We've got a few more hours left for you to get involved out there and support World Bicycle Relief here on WTRL. And thank you to everyone who has.
A lot of people logging in over, I think, over there to check out the leaderboard right now, actually, and the results. It is the prime time for WTRL and what goes on. One of the largest events that happens on Zwift on a weekly basis. I think the only thing that might outdo it is the ZRL when it is going on Tuesdays. We'll take a look at the results again in just a moment. Head on over to WTRL.racing to take a look at the current fundraising some more. I think results are just coming in for the ladies. The men are here already. So let's take a quick look here at how things ended up playing out for the Doppio crew. I'm just going to do a quick little reload here. And on the Doppios, it is going to be at the top. The Cyrus No Pins boys, they held on to it by a full minute, Dave. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, exactly a minute. As a matter of fact, over Virtue Slow, big, strong guy, 47-36. Ooh la la. I don't know how anyone's going to better that. As silver medal as it stands for Virtue Slow and Zedbro Pika Pika in the 3rd spot. BL13 Bullets 4th. Schmears Frey Espresso 5th. Cycling Power Race Team sitting in 6th. Cryo, that's Toyota Cryo RDT Men in 7th. Backpedal 1 in 8th there, but by far our top fundraising team. Great job, Backpedal. D-Pack Elite, 9th quickest in our Dopios.
And on over to our espresso for the men. It's going to be TSZ Waffles there with the 49.55. Evo Espresso with a 166. Vision coming in right behind them, 791. 7.91 back. Going to be 4th place there. Adam Racing Team Photons there, followed up by 5th place. The Jekas 36 seconds back. It's going to be Evo Warriors in 6th. Down and Dirty Vipers. It's going to be Dirt Diggler in 8th and Eat Dirt in 9th. VCRT Doggos there coming in for 10th. I'm being told that the Legion team coming in 14th in the espresso, actually, with a 52-minute time. So pretty good with only 4 riders over 52 minutes, actually, against some of the very experienced team time trial teams out there today. And the Frappes.
Yes, and on top, it's Dirt Time Chasers, the Zetas with the 51.01. That's going to be 28 seconds quicker than NZ Bropo Waka Wakas, sitting in the 2nd spot. 3rd spot occupied by R3R ACDC. In 4th, it's Backpedal 2. 5th is Ace Aurora. 6th, Coalition Hyperon. 7th is Eat Dirt 007. 8th is Virtue Slow Hazard. 9th, Vikings Jormunder. And 10th is the Dirty Steam Engines for our Frappes.
In with the lattes, it's Viking Valhalla with a 55.01, half a second. The difference between Eat Dirt 2 and the Vikings Valhalla. Amazing job between those two teams with a great battle. It's going to be 3rd place, Zed Sun Venus. Taking down 3rd, 53 seconds back. The Woolly Rhinos there, I think they're going to end up, though, in 1st place after... I'm going to have to double check that. I think they're one of the top fundraisers out there. 55-56, though. Very close between them and Zed Sun. Them T-Type 1 Lancets there, 56.11. In 5th, it's going to be Kirchner Latte in 6th place there. Alpen Trodler Latte in 7th. Verto Slow Mali Bogovi there in 8th. Then it's going to be Team NL in 9th. And Adam Racing Team Isotopes coming through in for 10th place. On over to the Mochas.
And it's TFC Hurricane, just over an hour, 1 hour, 59 minutes, taking the Mocha's fastest time. TSZ Mocha Cakes, 2nd spot. Bush Bikers 2.0, sitting in the 3rd spot. Then you've got RR Sumatran Rhinos in 4th. LV Triple T2 in 5th. TBR Renegades in 6th. Virtue Slow Benko in 7th. Team Type 1, the Gluconauts in 8th. WKG Goat Herders in 9th. And as it stands right now, it's Zed Sun our Nebula holding on to a top 10 spot in our Mocha class.
On over to the ladies. 52-27 for the Sox Watts Aero Unicorns at the top. Wahoo Lacole came in out of zone 10 just a few minutes ago, actually, with a 29.73 behind. So I mean, Wahoo Lacole, they're like one of the best time trial teams in the world right now. They showed us in the ZRL. Look what happens when you put some of the most old school conglomerate teams together, right? I mean, this absolutely awesome to see here from the Aero Unicorns showing up again with that old school WRT team now. So CCR Racing coming through. They are back, it looks like, and I hope they're back for the winter. Big shout out to them. Love to have them
here. Hope so too.
So, CCR Racing Girl for 3rd. BBB, they're in 4th. NZ Bro Cheese Rollers, they were holding the top spot until Aero Unicorns threw down. And then it's Toyota Cryo DT Women in 6th. TFC Vixen in 7th. Wahoo Lacole Atoles. Help me out there, Dave. Is that a climb? Etoile.
I think it means future is my guess. I'll look it up.
That would make a lot of sense.
See.
With the development team. Yeah, for sure.
We'll see.
Vienna Espresso Watts up on fire then, coming on through for 9th place.
This will be our Vienna Frappes that we're looking at now in a 57.16. They were pinning it in our Platinum League as Crush Pod, fastest time draft, 2nd quickest there as they were 25 seconds back. It's really close between 2nd and 3rd as Socks for Watts Odd Socks. And up with the 3rd quickest time, Ravon in 4th, TSZ, the Swedish Cinnamon Rolls, which are delicious, in 5th, Vegan Gazelle 6th, Coalition Equinox 7th quickest, Evo Comets 8th, Virtue Slow No Doubt 9th, and then B2B rounding out our top 10 fastest times. They were all out of the Platinum League here today.
And in with the Vienna lattes. NZ Bro Ghost Cups hold on from this morning, but Zets and Pluto coming in through for second place out of Platinum League. Second Power Women in for third. And then it's going to be what's WTRL, what's UPC, what's up, C? Help us out, C? Is going to be in fourth place there. Crush Pot 2 for fifth. It's going to be TSC Sticky Buns in sixth. ZR Scott Alba in seventh place, 337 back. Crush Pot Cortado and the top fundraiser out of the Vienna lattes. They were up in that thousands, I believe. Great job on them, $1,036. But eighth place currently on the times. Adam Racing Team Electrons there for ninth. It's going to be NCTC Mares in for 10th.
Étoiles means star, it looks like. My best guess now. Yeah.
The stars.
Kirkmeyer Team Bees. Yeah, it would work. Kirkmeyer Team Bees. With Bees work is 1 hour, 1 minute, 19 seconds. And the Vienna's was the fastest time so far today. Vikings Iden in with the second quickest time, only 23 and a half seconds back there in the silver spot. Bronze medal right now being held on to by Evo Meteors. Live by Cycling in fourth, WCC Inferno's fifth, ZR Scott Aria in sixth, Zedson R Hydra in seventh, Angular Speed eighth, RC Feel Rebulunas in ninth, and TFC the Blackbirds round out your top 10 Vienna fast times.
Next week, number 139, Wow. Ouch.
Another tough one.
Reverse.
Man.
Looking forward to that.
3 in a row now. After two of two it well, and then today now
New
another
York.
punch in the gut.
Ouch. Make sure to sign up before 7 p.m.
Yikes.
UK time, 1 p.m. Central time next Wednesday. Get your race passes out to all your team. Talk to your team. Do the team things. And we'll see you for that next week. Tomorrow we've got the Legion of LA Crit series, our first broadcast of that. It's all about getting new people into crit racing. Be on the watch out. The broadcast is going to be scheduled very shortly. And it'll be me, myself, Dave. I don't know why there's two of me, but myself and Dave are going to be on that broadcast.
All three of us.
All three of us here. There is an extra Nathan, kind of, in some ways, always in the background.
Yeah, there is.
Doing some things. So there is that. But and then there's the Team Fearless World, Team Fearless Championships on Friday. And that is going to be an 88-kilometer race, actually, for the A's and the B's. Long day in the saddle. That's been going on for years now. Great to see the fifth running of the Team Fearless Championships. We're going to have a lot of fun with that on Saturday. And we do it all over again next week as well. So make sure to hit those follow buttons. We're here every single week, Zwift Community Live. We also have next Tuesday, Legion of LA. So that's Tuesdays and Fridays. You want to sign up for some crit racing, make sure to do that. We'll be broadcasting it here with you. Dave, that was a lot of fun. Let's take one last look here at the current fundraising and how things are going there. And just encourage everybody on to, head on over to WTRL and make this happen. We're currently pushing 92,000, and these are the top teams right now. You can still take some time off of your current times. And it is a little bit of pay to win, but who's winning, Dave?
Oh, there's no doubt we as humanity are winning directly through World Bicycle Relief. No doubt. Nathan, thanks a lot for a great day. And thank you, Martin, at WTRL, for getting behind this one more time this year. I'm so happy that we went way above and beyond last year. Great job, everybody.
Been absolutely awesome. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Do the things, hit the follow buttons to know anytime, as well as notifications that we do go live. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Legion of LA Crit Series. As always, everybody, head on over to WTRL for all those results and ride on. Thank you.